My name is Stephen Mayol. I work for Child Protective Services in Houston, Texas.
What are your job duties?
So I actually work for the Department of Family Protective Services, and it's a division that I work for is child protectives. They have adult, and I work for the child part. My job entails working with families that have previously been investigated for physical, emotional, sexual abuse, neglectful supervision, physical neglect. If these allegations were proven to be true, the children were removed legally, and the state of Texas stepped in and gave temporary managing conservatorship or temporary custody to the department. That's where my job comes in. I work with those families to help and try to reunify mom and dads with their kids, providing them a service plan depending on the allegations that were made, whether it's drug related, physical abuse, domestic violence, and try to get them within a year, sometimes a little bit more, to try to reunify. And if not, then try to find a long term placement for these kids, whether with the family or an unknown foster parent or people who are willing to adopt.
What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
I case manage families. So I have about 12 families that I'm in charge of. I have about 16 children, how we actually count the cases that I'm responsible for. I have to see each child at least one time a month at their residence. So scheduling visits with parents and children, making sure that I fit into their schedule because some people don't get off at work until 7 o'clock at night. So I got to go make sure I go see them at their house. If the siblings aren't together, then schedule sibling visits, schedule parent child visits at the CPS office. I have to appear in court and testify on a monthly basis. I got to perform family group conferences so everybody can all be on the same page. Help locate service providers for the parents, whether it's substance abuse related, domestic violence related. If children need mental health professions in their life, I help set them up with those service providers. So pretty much doing a lot of the legwork and trying to make sure that all these parents can come together.
So, what attributes, skills, and knowledge do you need in order to have this occupation?
So I actually went to school to be a high school teacher for geography. I did that for a little bit, and it felt like I became more of a counselor for these kids. They would come in my lunch period before and after school, and they would vent to me about their personal life, and I felt like I should be doing more to help. So I had the opportunity to walk away from teaching and enter in this field. And during my interview, they were like, "Oh, well, you need a bachelor in psychology or social work." But we've had teachers, step over and they do great. So I've actually been here for going on 4 years in March. But it's been great. You have definitely need to know how to time manage, prioritize. Um, work Working from home has always been something that I've enjoyed about this, even before COVID. I could go to Starbucks and document all day long and be totally okay. I don't have to have a supervisor managing me. You have to be reliable, responsible. That because you are out in the field, and one day I could be in the west part of Houston, in Katy, and on the next day I can be on the east side in Pasadena, or I could be on the north side up in Spring. And each day I'm doing something new, so I enjoy that. Nothing's repetitive. It's sometimes it's like an episode of Jerry Springer. You can imagine, with paternity results and different stories from different parents and why they're right and why people are other wrong, or why we're the villains, and it's you got to be able to take stuff with a grain of salt, compartmentalize, but definitely know how time management prioritizing is a big key. Um,
So, to you, what is geography?
Place, people, and culture. Different locations on a map, obviously. I always love coloring the maps, but the people, you meet a variety of people, and you have to understand culture in this. In my profession, even when I was going through college and learning, that was always the thing that always fascinated me was different parts of the world have different cultures, and that's all with geography. You have different political that gets involved. It's great. There's you can go, like I said, I go to one side of town of Houston and it's a Hispanic community, and I go to another part and it's an Asian community. You learn that different places have different cultures, and you have to know these, especially when in my job dealing with a variety of different type of people.
But do you want to add anything else to how does geography assist you in your job?
So, like I said, I have 16 kids I got to see on a month to month basis. I have to be able to schedule these visits. I'm only really allowed to travel 150 miles in my personal car before I got to rent a vehicle. I personally like the travel checks, so I try to do it in my vehicle. But that means that I can only go see maybe 3 or 4 kids in a day, and that maybe it needs to be on the northwest side of Houston compared to my other kids that are on the southeast side of Houston. So I got to be able to schedule, time manage, figure out how I'm going to get there, be able to document all my information within 24 hours. So I seem to always get the kids that are placed out of regions. So I had one child in St. Louis, one in Atlanta. I now have two in Dallas. So I now have to schedule flights to go up to Dallas, get off the flight, go see the kids, and make sure I make it back in time. One kid's 2 hours away, one kid's is like 30 minutes away. So be able to figure out how I'm going to do that travel and then still get home in a decent hour because I have my family and kids that I still want to see. And it's the other thing of like I was saying earlier is different cultures and different ethnicities. I might have a black child that I place in a white family, and I have to kind of teach my family of they have different needs than somebody else. So making sure that nobody's culture gets lost in any of this craziness and nobody falls through the cracks.
What geography courses can you think of that actually did prepare you for this without having the proper quote unquote degree?
Cultural geography, intro to geography with Dr. Han that I took way back when. She really opened up my eyes to what geography was. And it was, I know it's an intro course and it's a basic course, but it provided all different aspects of what you're going to see. You're going to see environmental, you're going to see physical, you're going to see, in cultural geography. And all this is going to play a part in your day to day life, whether you know about it or not, and learning about different parts of the world, where I might want to travel, what things I want to see, what people I might encounter. Like I said, it was a basic course, but it was, I think the professor made it for me. Walking into a big old lecture room, and she was just active every single day, and just she was funny, and I was entertained, and maybe out of 150 people, she knew my name, so that was kind of a great thing. So I think that played a part in it.
Why do you love geography?
Personally, I love geography. It was one of the things why I wanted to minor in it. History was my first love, but history and geography are sister subjects. So you got to know one, you got to know the other. It's just something that I've always really been passionate about. My home, just coming home and just learning about different cultures and foods and political realms. Just seeing how different people see the world and how they see us and how we see them. That's always been intriguing to me.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you so much,
No
and
problem.
best of luck out there. And I hope that all your kids find a great home and live a happy life for
I
sure.
appreciate it.